I want to share with you a powerful mental skill, mental strategy to help you be at your best when you're on the pitch. And it's something, and this is a strategy that Premier League players have used, the whole Feyenoord team has used, and Yannick Bolasie uh, specifically, I know, have used this one when he played at Everton. And it's called game face. So it's really about figuring out when you are at your best in terms of performance. So one way of saying it is it's your game face, the face you have on. Another way of saying who are you being when you're at your best. So we have to take a look at the inside. So really think about when you're at your best. Maybe close your eyes, it can make it easier. Like close your eyes and like see some of the moments, some of the situations when you feel you are at your best. And get into that experience. And you can pause the video if it makes it easier. I'm just gonna keep talking. You can pause this video whenever you feel like it. Really get into the experience of when you're at your best, right? Because this will help you identify what state of mind, what's the state of mind you have when you're at your best? Like what does it feel like? And we're going to pick 3 words that identifies when you are at your best. So I'm just gonna pick the first 2 here. So the first 2 are kind of like a metaphor. It could be free and dominant. So if those are the words, so I'm just using these as an example, you can pick whatever you feel like describes you when you're at your best. So we use free and dominant. I will use those words because I feel when I'm at my best, I feel free on the pitch. I don't have a worry. I'm not thinking about really what I'm doing. I'm just being present and being careless, carefree, right? And the other one is I'm dominant. I feel like I'm dominating my opponents. I'm dominating the game. When I'm at my best, I'm always on the toes of my opponents. And the third word could either be like an animal, which energy and way of being you want to model and embody. Could be like a tiger, like a lion. Again, it fits with being dominant. Or it could be a player you look up to. A player that you look up to, someone you like how they play, how they run, how they dribble. Take those 3 words. So the player, I forgot to, that could be like Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, Karim Benzema, or whatever, whoever you look up to. It's not really important who it is. It's about you figuring out for you. It has to resonate with you. And you write it on your hand. You could get it tattooed, but write it on your hand so you have it when you go into games, when you go into training. Because what you're going to do now is really embody that way of being. Going to embody being free, going to embody being dominant, going to embody being like Ronaldo or a lion. So the words are there to remind you because you will fall out of it. That's just the nature of being human, right? We start worrying about something, about making a mistake or taking a penalty. What happened the last time I took a penalty? I missed the shot. Will I do it again? And it's important. The quicker we fall out of that way of thinking, those negative thoughts, and fall into the way of being when we were at our best, the better we will perform, right? So the words are there in the hand to remind of that. Another thing that is important is that you're going to spend time really embody being that, right? Really embody being free. Like, well, how does it feel being free? How does it feel being dominant? That person who is dominant free is Ronaldo. How does he walk? How does he use his body? What's his posture like? How does he speak to other people? How does he speak to himself? And the idea is the more you embody this, the more you become that person. Right? And what is also important is after each training, after each game, you quote unquote judge, but not your performance. You you judge, you use a scale from 0 to 10 where you judge your state of mind, your mindset. Obviously you have thinking about your performance, and there's this the place and space to analyze that, but that's not important for this part, right? It's important here to just take a look at, like, mindset wise, state of mind, from 0 to 10 after the game, after the training. Like, what number would you put on it? A 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 4? And why that number? Spend some time thinking, like, why did you pick 6? What could have made it a 7 or an 8? And another good thing can be to, like, write down the thoughts that you have. Like, you can't do it during the training or game, but afterwards there might have been some persistent negative thoughts about failing, what other people are thinking about you, what if you lose, what if you have a bad game, what if you make another mistake. You might have some thoughts that you can see you have a habit of thinking like in a certain way. It can be very helpful to write it down, because you can use that and work on it so it doesn't show up in the same way. So what I would do if I were working with you, like I do with my clients, is, okay, what's going on? What are you thinking? What are your worries, your fears? Because if you are coming from a state of mind of fear, the thoughts you have will come from fear. You will have fearsome thoughts. Just makes sense, right? So what I do with my clients and the people, the players that I work with is, okay, what are you afraid of? And we take a look at what's really going on beneath the surface that creates all those fearful thoughts. And as we dissolve the reasons, as we dissolve the fear, the players naturally think more positively. And as they think more positively, they have better results, they perform at a higher level, they have a better mindset. So I would, if I were you, like, write it down and have someone help you with this. Because it makes a huge difference whether you have, like, if you're ruminating about something, if you have negative thoughts, if you get lost in your own head for like 10 minutes in a 90-minute game, it will impact your performance. But can you get that down to like 9 minutes, 8.5, 8 minutes, 7.5, 7 minutes? How far down can you get it? And the last thing is, it's really what I said about embody being that person, because when you know who you want to be, you'll catch yourself when you're not being that. We only know something through relativity, right? You only know cold from warm because of the relativity. Like when it's winter, it's cold in the room and you're sleeping at night and you have the blanket all over you and you take your hand out, like your hand or your toe, it gets out of the blanket for some reason and you feel like it's cold, but you only know that because the hand or the toe came from like a warm place. So we only know something through relativity. So when you have decided this is who I want to be, you'll start catching yourself when you're not being that. When you're not being free, when you're not being dominant, when you're not being Cristiano Ronaldo or a lion. You catch yourself, oh, yeah, and this is very human. We're not being the same person all the time. So I hope this was helpful. And yeah, you can always reach out if you have questions about this because it can be a lot and it can be quite good to have someone to play ball with when it comes to the mental part of the game and when it comes to the mental part of performance.